So as you can see, we've gotten this last section of it, a few little things we need to clean up and take care of. Let's go back to 3D for a minute and let's go to what we call a front view on this and look at this view here. So we can probably pull this part of the roof back some. So I'm just going to click on that, right? And let's see if first, if can I go align to the front of the building here, the front part of this roof? I sure can, right? Align that right to the front, right? Because I don't need that roof protruding out from under there. And then again, I can look at the front view and say, hey, okay, that's pretty clean. So that's covering me in here. Now, water can drip off of this roof and it can fall into a gutter, right? If we wanted to, could we sweep a gutter along there, a gutter profile? I don't know. Let's try. Let's see. Let's go to architecture and let's go to roof and let's look at, oh, roof gutter. So there's a 5x5 bevel profile in there. I wonder if I can see if I can apply it to there. Really, again, no big deal, but let's try and see if we can real quick. So gutter and uh, let's put that gutter there. So now we've got a little gutter on that side. See, there's a little gutter that'll roll in that end, and we can go around the other end and think about this. Of course, we wouldn't put a gutter here because water wouldn't roll up, and we can't seem to put that gutter on that end right there. So the water is going to kind of roll off and it'll probably get stuck in the middle right here. So it's not the greatest design consideration, but that's okay. What we would do is we would fashion some gutter to go on this side, but it's just only seeing the ends as a place to put gutter. And there's a workaround for that, but it's not really a big deal for us today. Okay. So now the second thing we want to do is we'll go in section and we will grab both of these, right? We'll grab both of these steel columns and you can see they're both selected. And let's see, let's go back to section 1 and let's take those steel columns up a little more. You see the top offset, we're going to say it's, let's say the column's at level 2 and the top offset will maybe be 10 feet. See what we get from that. Okay, so now we're kind of making it look like that steel column is kind of holding this whole assembly up. Now, full disclosure, we would probably need quite a bit more support, but this is a light architecturally exposed frame with glass on top. So although it would be pretty heavy, we probably design, not probably, we definitely design a connection point in here to hold some of it down. As a matter of fact, in this, I would even guess that we might take and copy this whole section of things right here. Let me delete these 2 lines. Those are just detail lines. I'd probably grab this and I'd say, let's copy this over, let's say 25 feet, right? Or is that 26 feet? I couldn't quite tell. Looks a little narrow in there, but that's okay for what we're doing right now. And I go back to 3D, and so I've got some steel up here. Look in that section. So in that section, maybe we would use these other 2 columns and maybe we would go up a little higher. So let's select that column and that column right there just for graphical purposes. And let's say we want to go up 15 feet with those instead of just 10 feet above the top of the offset there. And that's a little better. Go to that section view, and that's pretending like it's doing that. But let's go to this view and kind of get a feel on the back side for it, kind of the same as that section. Let's say we grab this one and we take this down from 15 maybe to 13 or 12. Let's go down to 13 and see what that looks like. How about 12? Let's try that. Okay, that's a little better, a little better. And then the other one's going up a little higher. It's kind of looks like it's going through that other side. So let's go to the front view here, see what we can do with that one. Maybe we'll drop that one down by a couple of feet too. We'll take that from 15. Maybe that one can be 13. That's a little better. Now, of course, we know those are not true connections, but you can kind of see how it's sort of outside of there right now. So in order to make that look more realistic, we probably have to say, okay, we aren't going to make these gas pumps, or they'll just be gas pumps from one side, and we're going to come over a few feet and maybe move this over, I don't know, 6, 8, 7, 8 feet maybe. All right. That's a little odd though. So what I would do in this instance, I wouldn't have probably gas pumps there. I probably wouldn't even have this. I would just have the structure sitting there. And I'd probably put some column base plates at the bottom of it and just generally have some structure that's on this end. And again, I would go back in and maybe try to adjust that so that in this particular view over here, you see how it's kind of just sticking through right now? I'd probably grab this one here and maybe drop that all the way down to maybe like, I don't know, maybe like, let's see what 10 feet does for it. Back to where we were. Let's see what that looks like. So again, you see how I'm kind of poking through here. And unfortunately, I don't think I can attach the top of the, let me see if I can attach the top base to this form. I've never tried that before. No, it doesn't want to let me do that, and that's okay. So what I'll do is just adjust it manually. So again, people, you can kind of see some of the cleanup that you got to do to make it look a little more realistic when you're massing. So maybe I'll just say this is going to go down to a 5-foot offset. And now it's more kind of immersed in the steel. I'm going to say 4 foot. And you can see you just kind of play with this sort of thing, because typically no one is going to be checking every single detail of something like this when you do it. They're more taken in by the massing aspect of it. So yeah, that's a little better. Maybe I'll go down to 4 foot on that one too. So just showing you the importance of trying to make it look a little more realistic, okay? And so that's kind of it for today. You know, play with this aspect of creating a parametric roof with your own curtain panel that you put in there. You can even change, if you remember, we can change the shading of our glass. Real glass would look more realistic in this, and in this instance, it wouldn't be the regular kind of glass that are in our windows. It'd probably be more of a plexiglass, but this is kind of the same look we would get. Again, try and make this work for you. Again, you know, some logical things that we'd adjust about this. Maybe we would have made the whole thing wider so there was room for more pumps on the other side, not just the structure. Or maybe we just say, hell, I don't know, let's take these 2 columns out completely and just say that these 2 in the middle are strong enough to hold the whole thing up, and then we're attaching the other part of the building. Again, it's massing, people. It doesn't have to be perfect this time out. So I want you to experiment with this. Make a flat form, make a form that's larger. But for the assignment, you're going to just make kind of something similar to what we have here, and then also upload the family that you create as well. That's probably the meat of this lesson, is creating that curtain panel family that we place within our freeform mass. Okay, so we'll kind of wrap up for today, and we'll pick up again on Wednesday.